Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killerrodan. So today I'll be uploading a video from my original channel. So of course I'll just do a movie review, of course, which I've often done anyway. And I will post a link down below for my second channel where I'll talk about movies and such. And yes, obviously I'll post a link down below for Alphas as well if you're interested in some video game related stuff in the description box. Yep. So with that being said, let's just talk about Terminator Genisys. So I just figured since I reviewed the others, might as well cover this one as well. Oh yeah, I'm almost done here. Almost done reviewing these movies. So, oh yeah. And yeah, for this one, I just thought, okay. Yeah, they were planning to make sequels for the film Terminator Salvation, but they were canceled, and it had something to do with behind the scene drama, something to do with bankruptcy, so we just ended up with this one instead and whatnot. So anyway, so yeah, there's more movies specific for that, but that never happened. Anyway, as always, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So here we go. Oh yeah, explosions and everything. Even though honestly, okay, why do I bother talking about the plot? I mean, really, why? It's more or less the exact same thing. What you mentioned that I mentioned before with the previous films, maybe with the exception of Salvation, really, but it's more or less the same thing, really. Yeah, of course, John Connor, the leader of this human resistance, sends this individual back to 1984 to protect Sarah Connor, and pretty much as an attempt to safeguard the future. But of course, this is an unexpected turn of events that created this fractured timeline. So yes, of course, it needs to be fixed. Obviously, so something needs to be fixed about this kind of thing. So as a result, now this individual, this character, finds himself in a new and unfamiliar version of the past where he is faced with unlikely allies. And let's just say that those dangerous new enemies, an unexpected mission to basically like restart the future, so to speak. So, yes, it gets pretty damn crazy in that regard and whatnot. And just basically, I guess in some ways, this was kind of intended to undo the some of the previous films, I guess. But yeah, this is basically what they're trying to aim for. I mean, yes, you can always talk about the paradoxes and whatnot, of course. And this film is trying to, I guess, retcon some of the like a few of the previous films, I guess, in some ways. And I kind of see what they were trying to do, obviously. So yeah, that's basically the idea here, folks. I mean, okay, I'm gonna get this out the way. All right. I'm I was actually told multiple times from a bunch of people that this was awful. It was boring, unwatchable, so just tiring. I mean, okay, in some ways, yes, I would agree that it does feel tiring, sure. However, I wanted to give this a shot anyway. Just give no pun intended. I just give it a try anyway, so I can judge this as my with my own two eyes, so to speak. I mean, yes, obviously, is it perfect? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say it's perfect. Really, it really isn't. Of course, it's going to be crazy with the action. Of course, there's going to be plenty of explosions. You know, all this stuff that's expected from these kinds of movies. All that. Oh, definitely. All that. And it does feel very nostalgic, which, yes, I don't like nostalgia, of course. But there's plenty of references to the like first two films in a lot of ways, which in a way isn't too bad. And yes, of course, I did think it was a good idea to make Arnold, the original Terminator from the three films, the one actor, Sergeant Schwarzenegger, yeah, he came back as his character that he's known for anyway. So I did think that was a good move on the director's part, of course. So anyway, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that it's not quite as shitty as I thought it was going to be, or as at least not as what people told me, and yes, obviously, like I was trying to say a moment ago, it does bring back a lot of nostalgia from the first movies, which could go against it or for it. Depends how much you can tolerate it, I guess. So yes, obviously, in other words, it does feel a bit of a rehash of the first two films. Obviously, in some ways, when you think about it. So there's that, of course. But anyway, this film, I guess it's not going to exactly be 100% the same. Obviously, there's be some differences here and there, of course. And yeah, there's some stuff that are different, made it its own thing to some extent. Really, kind of thing about it. But anyway, in some ways, yes, I would definitely agree that the different plot is safe in some ways, definitely. But all in all, I thought this was okay. I thought it was pretty alright, I suppose. I thought was a decent film. As for the acting, I didn't think the acting wasn't really uh spectacular, but it does what it's supposed to. It serves its purpose. Just like the plot, it serves its purpose in the grand scheme of things, of course. And yeah, yes, I did think it was a little nice nudge nudge wink wink revisiting the sort the first Terminator timeline and whatnot. So which was of course could be a great deal of fun for the obvious reasons, of course. So there was that. So yeah, it just comes up like how many times do they have to repeat lines from the previous films? Like they got repeated repetitive, of course. Ugh. So they paid like too much of a nostalgia tribute in some ways. I mean, it could be fine if it's done right, I guess, but it's whatever. But there's plenty of action. I thought the action sequences were well done. There's plenty of explosions. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that, really. So anyway, in the grand scheme of things, it's a decent movie. That's all I can really say. That's all I can really say is decent. I'll give this film an overall rating of a 6.0. It's a 6.0 from me. As always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah.